Okay, peace family. This is Garth Haru. I'm here with Nella and Jay. We about to get it
Peace.
popping. This conversation right now is about consciousness. We about to explore the consciousness and the soul. Right. So is as of now is a lot that I want to say. But the angle, you know,
Right.
talk to me. The angle.
Well,
Just throw something out there.
let's see. Since we talking about black conscious, I would say this right here. Let's talk about how it works, so to speak. From
Consciousness, okay?
right,
How it works.
right,
Consciousness, real consciousness is identification.
right,
Consciousness is three different levels to consciousness, or it's three stages, identifiable stages to me, in my opinion, to consciousness. You have
right,
you have the past, you have the present, you have the future.
right.
All of these are synonymous to the consciousness, the state of the consciousness. Uh, the consciousness is non-energy matter.
Right.
It needs to inhabit a vehicle made of energy matter. All right. I could throw that out there, right? That's cool.
Right.
What you feel about that? Like you understand that it needs to inhabit a vehicle made of energy matter. What's your views?
Well, I'll say this right here as far as that go. When we talk about the consciousness and it needing a host, so to speak, to be able to generate or make itself visible in the physical realm, I'll say this right here.
Correct. Correct.
Consciousness is like a frequency. Consciousness is all around you. It transfers from different aspects. You can find consciousness anywhere from a non-living object, or as they say, an inanimate object, which can be anything around you. Consciousness is a strong form of energy. And once it's put out there, it once it's transferred, like for example, I'll say this. The sun. The sun is consciousness. The sun has its own consciousness. And we as people of melanin, once the sun's ultra UV rays hit our melanin, it sends off its consciousness and it gives us information. When we obtain this information, we obtain a different consciousness. We obtain a different way of understanding. We were receiving information from our ancestors. So I would say that right there in terms as far as example of how consciousness moves.
Okay. That's
So you
deep.
would say that food has consciousness as well.
Right, right. Because all things are that's just like since you said food, okay, we'll talk about animals. Well, there's a saying where they say be careful what you eat. When you're eating animals, because simple fact, you don't know what these animals was going through. You don't know what their conscious mind state was, them having to endure what they had to endure for us to partake on those animals. So when you eat this animal, experience this animal's consciousness. You may experience the emotions of this animal. You may experience fear, but you don't know why exactly you're feeling this way. You're taking on another consciousness along with your own.
So does spinach have consciousness?
Well, it has an alkaline base, and because it has an alkaline base, I would say that it does. I would say that all plants do. because they carry a alkaline base, which we know alkaline for electrical energy. This is a form of consciousness as well. And you know, we are, with us being melanated beings, we are of that same caliber, so to speak. We're of that same caliber. Let me see how I'm gonna put this in a better term. Let me see. I'm not gonna say electric, maybe I can say electromagnetic, but we carry the same amount of frequencies or higher, because our bodies, I'm not gonna say they're alkalized because the things that we eat, but with us eating these fruits and vegetables, it alkalizes our body. And as you know, we have copper and all the other things that makes an electric connection within us. And you know, that sends information to the nerves. That sends a different wave of consciousness to our nerves. So I would say
potato chips or Snickers, do those have, I mean, Snickers came from cocoa and something that has consciousness, so does it still have consciousness?
Well, that'll be kind of, well, I'm not gonna say kind of, that'll be a little difficult to say as far as that go, but I would say no, it's not. No, it's not. I would say this: everything that we consume has a consciousness, because we get certain emotions from what we eat. No matter what it is, we get certain emotions. Like I was saying with the animals, whatever the animal was experiencing, you're gonna experience it. As far as plants go, you know, you might experience happiness, you might experience calmness, peace, all these things. A sneaker, you know, you may experience.
The sneaker is going through a process. It's going through, like, you know, it's mixed with certain type of things. It goes through a process of chemicals and heat, different temperatures. So I kind of agree with what the brother is saying. Also, it has energies attached to it. Also, it's a thought. It's someone else's design. It's a you know, genetically modified design. It's a GMO. It's not natural. So you're consuming into the body, the you know, the electric body, something that's not natural. You know, I can see that you know, I can guarantee that you will have problems consuming things that are not natural for long durations of time.
Right.
The body won't be able to naturally flush those things. But we're speaking about consciousness here. Let's stay kind of like on a topic, exploring the conscious soul. All right. So kind of like where I'm coming from now is where I want to focus on is the actual person, us people, us Black people. I would love to be able to liberate the viewers. You know, those are the people who are watching this. I would love for them to, like, you know, be able to pick some knowledge out of our build today and liberate themselves and find new knowledge about, you know, the soul, and find new knowledge about the consciousness, and use this knowledge and as a form of power to propel you into the reality that you wish to create for yourself. So I think it's really important for you to be able to identify the spirit within you, like the real you. That's the real you. To have a firm knowledge and understanding of your true self, which is not the physical self.
Right.
It's that which is inside of you that animates the shell. You know, that needs to grow. That aspect of you, or that aspect of I, needs to grow. You need to develop that aspect of I. You know, that's it. Go ahead. Just reflecting. You need to that aspect of I needs to be developed.
Because that aspect of I is the one consistent, right?
Yes.
That's the aspect that is here to have experience, and that's the aspect that is going to have remembrance of these experiences to continue on in your own personal soul's evolution.
My bad. Distractions. But what were you saying? My bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah, exploring the soul's consciousness is like developing that I is the whole purpose, is the whole purpose and intent. We're here exploring in order to realize the I. Right? And to I think.
I'm gonna go off of what you're saying, just experiencing. Everything that we experience around us, you know, it's a form of consciousness, even words. Because words have a powerful sense of effect. The words that we use and say, because we live in a conscious world, the words we let out of our conscious minds or our conscious thoughts, however you want to put that, once we say these words, they become physical manifestations.
Yeah.
They become real over time after, you know, a consistent usage of these words. Out there to the universe. The universe is receiving our consciousness and it's sending that information back out into the world. So yes, I would say that the different experiences that we experience, that contributes a lot to our conscious minds and, you know, how we present our conscious minds.
Right. I agree.
And I was somebody, hold on. Did somebody beep in?
No, I think that was just my phone. I mean, my laptop giving a notification. Ignore that.
I had to make sure. But anyway, like I was saying, you know, when we talk about the body.
Sorry about that, man. No more distraction. I turned my phone off.
Okay.
I'm all yours.
Like I was saying, you know, the body is a physical manifestation that acts off of our conscious mind, because our conscious mind is infinite. It's everlasting. And when we do certain things or, you know, carry out certain actions, that has a lot to do with our conscious mind. That has a strong capability, to be exact. You know, we're creating things through consciousness. We're creating things. Everything around us has been created through consciousness. Conscious thinking. It's a lot of things that you can look at around you. Even birth, so to speak.
All right, I have a question. How does consciousness relate to the imagination?
Well, you got to think like this. When you talking about the imagination, it's a form of thought. It's a form of thought. Whatever you put inside of your subconscious mind, that's what that form of thought is, I would say.
So is consciousness, where does consciousness actually begin? Like in the process of, like, is consciousness being aware of what's before you, like what's in front of you in the reality?
remember in the beginning, I said time, and I said the past, the present,
Right.
future.
Right.
So I would say the consciousness is governed by time.
Right.
The consciousness is also, I would say, in a different dimension, or has the ability to ascend to a different dimension, different from the third dimension. Would you agree?
I would agree. Astral projection.
Okay. The consciousness still needs to inhabit a vehicle.
Right.
The vehicle is the soul.
Right.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay. And there are different types of bodies, but you know, I think, did you ask something about a dream? Did you say dream, or what did you say? You said like imagination. So you know,
Right.
it's fair to link the imagination with, you know, like the dream realm, correct?
Right.
So at night, when you know we go to sleep, what do you think happens? Like, that's like, you know, how do you perform sleep? How do you perform go to sleep? Like, what is that? Like, if you was to kind of like, you know, capture that, like the moment someone performs about to go to sleep. You understand what I mean by that? Like, you about to go to sleep, but you kind of like someone else about to go to sleep. You capture that. You know, what is that? Like a sleeping being, like a sleeping dog or a sleeping cat. What is this detachment from the body? Why is this body at right? What is this like? You know, it's almost as if you're dead, right? Something is gone from the body, right?
Right.
You agree to say, like, you know, at sleep, something is gone from the body. So that's the consciousness. That, you know, that you are unconscious at that time, right? Not conscious. Absent from conscious. What is unconscious? You know, absent from conscious.
Right. And I would say with that right there, you know, like when you get into that state, you go from conscious to subconscious that you have in your subconscious mind.
Okay. So just to add on to that, the subconscious mind now, you know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, is linked to the universe, like it's the gateway to the universe, subconscious mind. And this way is to operate within the subconscious realm, which you know, is many different methods. And one method is you know, repetition, like constant repetition or reformation to yourself, you know, to kind of weave that into the subconscious. So no matter what, like, you know, once you can get the subconscious to accept that, that affirmation, so shall it be. Because then the universe takes over. And then I don't know, it's like, you know, I'm speaking off of my personal experience. It's like by doing so, I can easily say the universe works in your favor, but I think it's something more technical, because by, you know, being successful in programming the subconscious, it's like something unlocks in the universe in your favor. What I'm speaking about is the ability to physically be here and have knowledge of, like, you know, other realms, because you're consciously aware of the consciousness and what you do with the consciousness in other places, or just period energies, like the brother was talking about. What I'm speaking about is energy matter and non-energy matter. We'll just think about things that's non-energy matter. Thoughts are non-energy matter, right? There's no, like, you can't really touch a thought as you're thinking it, but you know that they're there. You know that, you know, and, you know, thoughts, everything around you right now, everything around your room is a thought.
Right.
This device that I'm using to conduct this build is someone's design. Someone thought about this design. This shirt that I have on, this is my thought. This is my design. I thought about the design I had. This is my design. The rings, the stones, my favorite crystal here. This is black tourmaline. You see this? Black tourmaline. Designs and thoughts from other people's minds, energies. energies. You see what I'm saying? So when we as a people can identify some of these things that I'm pointing out, we could begin to move forward and advance as a people, as a nation. We can move forward and advance as a nation when we study ourselves and develop our spirits and our souls within.
Right.
So we can be stronger.
I would say this too. By us studying, you know, our history, we're learning our ancestors' consciousness. We're learning their way of thinking, their way of experience. And we're able to use that as our own.
True. Yeah, since you speaking of that, man, I don't want to go into light, but we're still talking energy matter. Let's go into photons.
Right.
You know, I think it's the temple of Dundera. This is a temple in Egypt, not too far from Egypt. And one of the temples is pitch black inside the temple, and there's like there's like a hole at the roof, and which this hole is aligned with I think is Orion, one of the stars in Orion's belt.
Right.
And at a certain point, that star, the light from the star shines light into the temple, and the whole temple that was pitch black now lights up. So I kind of I thought that was, pretty intriguing. And, after kind of studying that concept, I kind of had a picture of that light coming in and, maybe someone meditating in the light, because that's starlight. That's literally direct starlight. Other than that star passing by, it wouldn't be light right there. So, our ancestors had knowledge of that. And, I can just imagine projecting your consciousness into the light, communicating with the star. And, if you can communicate with a star so far away, you can definitely communicate with the actual sun that's there, that rises and sets every day. And I think I remember you saying in the beginning of the build about, how the sun has information, that you can take and receive. I'm following you, especially I do agree with you with plants having consciousness as well, because the light from the sun, they digest sunlight. Right. Sunlight, has intelligence. So they digest this sunlight. That's why, our ancestors, I wouldn't say that they were vegans, but yeah, they did understand herbs and alkaline foods. And, the medicinal purposes of eating, your medicine, like what Dr. Sebi would say. Dr. Sebi says your food should be your medicine. So, our ancestors knew these type of things, being that we are energy beings. The true essence of us is energy.
Yeah, that's sort of where I was getting at while I was going through the line of questioning, just because a lot of people, they eat certain meats and not realizing that the proteins or the nutrients that they're getting from the meat is actually what the meat consumes. So it's sort of secondhand, nutrients or secondhand consciousness, because as Jamal was saying, we get information from what we eat. And it could change the way that you think and the way that you behave and, certain different things like that. So a lot of people don't realize that, they're looking for sun energy or, plant life energy, but they're getting it from a meat that consumed, that energy prior, and it already became processed. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. We should ingest sun energy. We should take in as much of the sun as possible. That is what's keeping us alive. A lot of people don't pay homage to the sun. I'm not saying worship the sun, but what about that which is in the sky? Not getting too close to that ass, gonna burn that ass up. You see what I'm saying? What about that? What about these
honestly, I
things?
don't think it would burn us up. As you was just saying before, like communicating with that energy, like I think that is one of the powers of our melanin, and it protects us. Sort of like I forget what superhero had to go through some sort of force field, but his hand was made out of a particular material that, you know, it was still affected
Listen to
by.
this. Listen to this. It's been some hot day. I didn't experience some hot days. Okay. I remember when I've been to Mexico, it was burning up in Mexico. It was no way that I could like tell the sun, like, listen, son, it's hot as shit. I ain't trying to be sweating right now, sweating
But
bricks.
that's because we haven't been programmed to do that. But
Right.
I feel you though. No,
I
I
believe
get
that
it.
that's
I get
something
it.
that is possible. I like just I think I think being scared of the sun burning us up is European fear-based ideology. They're the
Right.
ones that should fear the sun. We should not fear the sun at all. We have nothing to fear from the sun. I think we should learn how to communicate with the sun.
See,
I agree.
but we have to. The thing with that is that goes back to consciousness. You know, as Black people or as melanated people, we have to get our conscious state of mind to that level to where we can communicate with the sun, to where we can actually receive the consciousness, the information that the sun is sending to us. That's why, you know, it's important to be mindful of what you eat, because that has an effect on how you receive the information that the sun is trying to give you, or that light energy is trying to give you.
I agree.
And that, I would say this too, as far as that goes. Like, how we feel all that heat energy when the sun is hot, it is transferring, and I'm gonna use that again, it's transferring that consciousness. It's transferring that consciousness so much to the point where we can see the frequencies. If you look down at the ground, you can see the frequencies. Or if you're just looking around, you can see this frequency with your eyes.
And they call it heat waves, but you know what I mean? You see frequencies. I feel it. I like that.
Right. But yeah, that's why I say, you know, you have to be mindful of what your intake, whatever your intake, it has to be the same consciousness that the sun has, or it has to have the same energy or frequency that comes from the sun. It has to have that same consciousness. If it doesn't have that same consciousness, then, you know, it'll be hard to actually receive that information.
Yeah.
That's just like with reading. Like when we read books, that's a form of thought. That's a form of consciousness. That's somebody else's consciousness. When we read these books, we take their consciousness. We're understanding their logic, where they're coming from with their thoughts. And as we receive that, then we use our conscious mind to think on how we're going to take this in. We break it down pretty much, about like a plant. When you put that plant, or when you put that seed in the ground, automatically this seed knows that it needs water. It knows that it needs water to grow. It knows that it needs the sun. And going back to the book, okay,
Consciousness.
our mind knows that this book has information that could very well be a seed. And we have to receive this seed. We have to fertilize it mentally with our consciousness, meaning we have to accept it. We have a choice of whether we want to accept this consciousness or not. Because it's not our thought. It's another being's consciousness. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Feel that. So I kind of want to walk into like the realm of like manifestation.
Right.
Using conscious thoughts and turning them into physical things, physical objects. But first, like, we got to understand, we have to go back to self. So I'm going to like switch my screen real quick. Switch him up. Go into my build. So you guys can see this? Checking me out?
See it.
All right. So pull this up. Show you this. This is a black circle, right?
Right.
Pull this up to show you an example of a person who believes that they are the body, or they are the vehicle.
Right.
Okay. This is what that is. This person, like, this is a person who is not aware of consuming GMO. This person is not aware of the consciousness of the sun. This person is not aware of anything. This person right here. This is a GMO.
No self-love. Right.
No self-love. This is a bitter person right here.
Right.
Right. This is a conscious individual. This is a person with knowledge of self.
Right.
This person knows that they are not the vehicle, that they are not the vehicle. They are the consciousness that inhabits the vehicle.
Right.
All right? You follow me? They are the consciousness, this right here, that inhabits the vehicle. So that's the goal. Is to understand that you are the consciousness which inhabits the vehicle. The consciousness is non-energy matter.
Right.
All right, and it's inside the vehicle made of energy matter. The consciousness, that which is non-energy matter, can see the past, can see the present, and the future. It could do all these things, with little to no energy.
Right.
Thoughts are non-energy matter. Thoughts, you understand? You follow me where I'm going at with the thoughts? Let me show you something. All right. So the vehicle is made of energy matter.
Right.
Right? So the consciousness is non-energy matter, but it is actual something, is a thing, right? Or it is. So this is the real us, which inhabits the vehicle. Right? It's true knowledge of self. This is the real us. This is like the sun that which is inside of us. This is like a light energy, like see. And that shows, and basically, this is duality. This is a symbol of this yin yang symbol is a symbol of duality. And I just showed you how, you have the vehicle, and then you have, the consciousness, which is dual. You have that which you cannot see, or that which has no energy matter, mixing with energy matter to create one substance, correct? So follow me, because I'm still talking about thoughts into reality here. When you have a thought and you mix it with a little action, hence the term, you bring the thought into reality. Like, that is the force required, or that is part of the formula to part of the process of bringing this thought that you cannot see and transforming or transmuting this thought into something that you can touch physically. Right. All right. I wonder if this is going to show for you guys. I try not to be too long. This is kind of small, man.
I'm familiar with this right here.
But are you able to see this good, or you got to squint your eyes?
I can see it good.
All right.
Can you see it, Nella?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of have a build on here. I'm gonna just kind of run through it. At the top, right? This is what you could say is God consciousness. Down here, this is like the lower nature of man. This is like, right here, this is like, the vehicle itself. But I don't want to go through all of these type of things because that's not what I'm focusing on here. Right. All right. So you can see it's like levels to this, and this is all about ascension. All right. So when we were born, we descended into this world, came down into this world, into the physical. Right. And the goal is to ascend back up into like from the physical into like, this element here.
Right.
All right. Consciousness is conscious, this conscious element. So where I'm coming at in regards to manifesting thoughts, this is where all of this takes place in here. And what I'm talking about is how to grab something from here or how to receive from here and bring it down here to where you at.
Right.
You see? All right. That's what my build is about. How to, grab items from here or information from here or create realities that you can see in your spirit's eye from here and bring it here. All right. Let's see, what's this here? Let's see. Combining energy matter, you see, like, you got energy matter here, energy, or this is non-energy matter, then you have energy matter, and then you combine them both, and you have knowledge of both. Yeah, what you think about that, Bill?
I like that.
What I see from that,
Any question?
It's levels to that. It's levels.
Yeah, it is.
And I would say this, how that diagram was showing it, like you ascending from here to go back. It's like you were saying about the past, present, and the future. Also, it's a sense of awareness.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's it's actually like traveling as well, because like you're traveling through your mind. And
right.
I'm starting to be able to link the mind with the actual universe itself.
Right.
I feel as though, I've established a direct connection to the essence of that out there.
Right.
That's fair to say.
Mm.
And it's kind of like, via the way that you talking about, like, just receiving that information from the sun and identifying. Real consciousness is identification. Like I showed you, when you do not identify, you that big, that black circle, right? When you do identify, you centered as one. You're at one. Centered with the one with the one.
Right.
Now you can begin to develop experience with the spirit.
Right.
That's what it's about. not necessarily growing physically, because that's inevitable, but growing spiritually for real. You know, no real doctrine, no nothing really teaches you that. You know, you're not about to learn that in no religion. You know, I think that's what they're trying to hide from us, like the time, take away the time that it would take to develop the spirit into a strong spirit to be whatever you came here to be and create any reality and blah, 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 you know? So, that's what it's about.
And what you said that, you know, I'm gonna keep referring to the sun because I feel like this topic right here, I feel like it's a strong relation to that. Like I'll say this. They are trying to keep us from obtaining the information that we are supposed to receive from the sun, because once we obtain that ancient set of consciousness, then we all can tap into our infinite consciousness or our infinite thought. We all can tap into this thing that we call the God mind or the God body. And that's like a higher divine sense of consciousness.
That's up there where I was showing you up there. What's above is below. You can still operate and live. You live up there. You can still be alive and live from that on that aspect. What's above is below. Like, you know, that the starlight, you know, if you can communicate with a star, that's how they think about it. Come on. Think about it, man. How you think they did it? That's how they did it. If the light can touch, there, that's if the light is there, it's there.
Right. That's why they spread these chemtrails for, because by them doing that, they feel like that they can block out this information that we as melanated beings need to receive from the sun. They feel like we can block out this information. Us blocking out this information.
You got the sun and the moon. You got it's light. Think about it. It's protons, photons. You know, you got the sun and the moon. We're getting it regardless. We're gonna get it regardless. You know, they trying to poison it though. What we really need is to eat it.
Right. Because our skin, our melanin absorbs that sunlight energy. It absorbs that consciousness. And with it absorbing that consciousness rests within us.
Like even this, you can see this, like, you know, a little ginger ale, you see what I'm saying? But products like this, can you imagine me just drinking this all year? You know what it would do to like my kidney, my liver? Probably give me diabetes. You know how many people you're not aware of that? Like, you know how people live like that? Like, I ain't want to be on camera with it, so I'm gonna talk shit about it and shit. Right. You know? It's the truth though. This syrup and it's just a bunch of, it's not water, it's not natural. It's not natural at all. I'm putting it into the body, like, you know.
Right.
I'm guilty of it now because that's what I got right now. See what I'm saying?
But yeah, I would say that like that's what they're doing now. They're trying to make it so where we can't receive that energy. We can't obtain that, because if we obtain this consciousness, like I was saying before, then we all will become divine minds or God bodies, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a scary thing for some people.
Right. Because like you were saying before about how, you know, we're like the sun, which we are. We're a mini sun.
Yeah.
Mini sun. Because we come from a star. We come from that. That's what we are. We are that star. We are that divine consciousness. Or as they say, holy. We are that. And the more information that we receive and obtain, the more of that consciousness we receive and obtain, it allows us to transform our consciousness past what we think. Because see, we don't really use our consciousness like that. A lot of us we are unaware of our consciousness. We are very unaware of it. But if we were, then boom, transformation. Here we go. It's like sending a message, like texting. Here we go. Back and forth. Back and forth. Every time that energy comes, we building. The melanin in our bodies, as they say, the melanin popping. The melanin it's reacting. In every aspect of your body, the melanin is reacting from your eyes to every organ in your body.
Yeah.
The consciousness that we're receiving, it's spreading across your body. And it's interacting with your melanin. And with melanin, now you're obtaining a different set of thoughts. You're obtaining a different set of understanding, a different set of history. You're obtaining all this consciousness. What would you say?
Definitely. What's your views, Nella?
My views is
obtaining consciousness, receiving consciousness from the sun, star system.
Right.
I mean, I think
we got our melanin from, what is it safe to say what the Sirius star system? Is that what they call it? That's what they call it. Like, I feel as though we have a lot of studying.
Right.
Let's talk about liberation with the consciousness. Like one thing I would like to see manifested is like, the day when we reject their technology. And it's kind of like, study and understand our, move forward from there. Independent, right. and begin something new on our own. Like, I don't know. It requires independence, and I think a lot of Black people are scared to be independent.
Right, because, and I'll say this with that, the main reason why is because they've made us so dependent on their creations, their technology, to the point where we're forgetting, or I won't say we're forgetting, we have forgotten our nature or our conscious nature. We forget our natural connection to everything around us.
I agree with you. I feel as though the people, they have no sense of nature, or they cannot identify the nature. Like, so much nature out there for you to read.
Right. And then too, receiving that consciousness is like receiving, like I was saying about the book before. Receiving that consciousness is like reading a book. It's all around you.
There you go.
It's all around.
It's everywhere.
When you read this information, you obtain, when you receive this consciousness, it's just like, I put this for example. They said, and I don't doubt this, but they said before we became a people of technology, we were able to talk through mind, through via mind, right?
Yeah.
So that's a transfer of consciousness. I'm speaking through thought and passing my thought to you, and you're passing your thought back to me.
That's the level like the ancestor was on. I can't do that. At the moment, I can't do anything like that. I would love to see that be done, or, the future of our people, we can begin to embrace that. You can say, fuck the cell phone then, right? Fuck Wi-Fi, when you could just like, you know what time it is. You know what I mean?
Right. And then too, with this technology, we're receiving frequencies from it. Without us using this phone, without us using these laptops, we're still receiving energy from it.
But I am successful receiving information from the sun. I agree with you with that. Like, is many different levels of, like, you know, the context of this conversation that we all should explore.
Right.
You know, all of the viewers should explore. Receiving information from the sun.
Right.
You know, that which knows it all. You know, that which, you know, the sun does, that which is consciously enough aware to not come too close and burn that ass.
That's just like, I'm gonna show y'all something. Hold on real quick. Like, let me get on my laptop because I shared it on my page. I was on this website, like I was telling you earlier, you know, I was doing my little research and it led me in the direction of melanin. I'm finna show y'all this video. I'm pulling up Facebook right now. Give me a second, y'all. Bear with me.
All right.
Okay, I'm on it. So I'm finna show y'all this video so y'all can get a good understanding of, you know, what I was saying or referring to when I was talking about the sun. It's still loading, y'all. It's coming. They make this technology so slow.
It's cool.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Here we go. I'm finna flip the camera so y'all can see this. And this is a video from YouTube. I'm just gonna let y'all watch this video so you know y'all can understand what I'm getting at as far as the sun into. Can y'all see that well?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay.
If it's just music, you want to mute it so that it doesn't do copyrights when he goes and reposts it.
I'm glad you said.
Oh, okay. If they start talking, you might want to put it back on, but.
What's that? Something wrong with the air? I can't see it. You got to talk though. He muted his mic.
Yeah, he did.
I had to pause it so I can explain to y'all what's going on.
Okay,
so
explain to that.
You see those freckles on her face, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm finna make it go back a little bit.
Was that some melanin? That's some melanin on. What's
not
that?
exactly. Not exactly. I'm finna explain that. Okay, so basically what they're doing is they're looking at this is how they're saying that the sun views us, right? So physically, as you can see, it's showing that she has freckles, right? Without that view, it just looks like a normal face. But basically, it's basically revealing her face. It's revealing her true authentic self through consciousness. Okay. I'm finna mute it again, y'all. So now that y'all understand, you know what I'm getting at with this right here. Hold on. I'm gonna take it back just a little bit.
So it's sort of like the movie They Live. You know, when they used to put on the glasses, you could see them for who they actually are.
Right. And I'm finna run it through now so y'all can see the whole thing. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. The change in his face, right?
Right. It was split for like a half a second. They showed a split image. Hold on.
All I see is just a whole bunch of caucasoids. They look like they're melting in the sun. I'm melting!
Now y'all finna see, okay, okay. At this point, they're putting at this point they're putting on sunscreen, y'all. And this is what the sun sees. This is what energy is being transferred to the sun when they put sunscreen on. Now, this right here is this is a kicker. Okay, y'all. Hold on. I'll mute it out again so we ain't gotta hear that.
At different ages.
I can't see it that. I want to see it like up close. Let me see. All right.
I had to stop it right now. Hold on. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Today I'm talking to you about ultraviolet and Canon cameras. I was not trying to do that.
I'll be back, you guys.
What I was trying to show y'all though, I'm gonna pause it real quick. But what I was trying to show y'all seen that black lady, right?
Yeah.
You seen her melanin. That it was showing her authentic self, right?
Yeah.
It was showing how, you know, the sun receives her or her melanin. Now you see what her face looked like.
Yeah.
She has freckles everywhere. She's not a melanated being. She's not receiving this information from the sun. Her skin is rejecting this information. This is what happens when you don't receive the consciousness of the sun. And it's deep.
Yeah. Dang. So what are they using to be able to view that?
They're using a UV. They're using a UV camera.
Okay.
And basically, what that UV camera is doing is it's exposing, you know, how the sun sees us. And it's not just us melanated people, it's them as well. So it's showing you, you know, how the sun receives us.
Okay.
This is why they go through with the sun, because they lack the ability to consciously communicate. It's our melanin being able to consciously communicate. Now I'm finna run it back through, but watch it carefully. Just look at notice the faces. You might see it split. I'm gonna tell you now though, there's gonna be a point in time where you see this female, and it's gonna show where she got a full row of teeth. One is chipped, but this is the sun revealing her authentic self. All right, I'm finna unpause it. I'm finna mute again.
All right. I don't think y'all can see this, what I'm looking at right now, but I'm definitely checking out what the brother is showing me. Right with you in a second.
You see that, right?
Yeah.
So when she puts on sunscreen, it looks like she has melanin. What's the darkness around her face in those areas?
Yeah.
This is how the sun receives. This is what the sun. Now you see what the sun is doing as a form of consciousness. You see how the sun is speaking now. Or I wouldn't say speaking, but viewing. The sun's conscious viewing. That's why when I was speaking on the sun, that's why I kept referring to the sun, because the sun has a conscious mind of its own. The sun is alive. It's a living energy, or it's a living consciousness. This is how the sun views.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything around it. Okay, hold on. I'm finna mute.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Hey. No.
Yes, I'm here.
I'll be right back, right?
Okay.
All right.
I'm here for it. All right, let's go. You can press play.
So, Nella, this what I was just explaining. Now you see her face, right? You see all those dark imprints around her face?
Yeah, tilt the screen down just a little bit. Yeah, I see it now.
That's sunscreen. All of that is sunscreen. So,
oh wow.
And this is how this is the sun's conscious view. This is the sun's eye view, so to speak. So she putting on his sunscreen and covering up her body. The sun's receiving this as melanin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm finna let it run through all the way.
That's deep. Yeah. That's why they have an obsession with blackface. They always want to paint their face black. They hate us, but damn, that's so deep.
What happened? Something happened?
No.
All right.
I'm gonna run it back a little bit for you.
I'm still here.
I'm gonna run it back a little bit for you, Garth.
All right.
So you can
I'm
see.
here. I'm watching it. I just wanted to sip my drink without being on camera.
What Nella saw. Hold on.
Okay, Queen.
You ready?
Run it back. Go ahead.
Okay. Hold on. Let me mute it out, y'all.
She all black.
That's the regular. That's without the sun.
Yeah, that's what our eyes see.
Right. And this is what the sun sees. This is what the sun receives.
That's crazy. Man.
Hey. All right, what did I miss?
He's playing it back right now.
Okay. Yeah, you see, like what he's saying though. You check that out.
Yeah, our perspective versus UV perspective or solar celestial perspective. They don't see color the same way that we do. They see it in
One of them is yours, right?
yeah. Is yours on the main screen? That's the question. I hope Garbs isn't. Put your mic on for a second, Jamal, so that your camera could go on the main screen. Yeah.
Okay.
This is pretty fascinating. I like the video. I like the perspective that it's coming from. Sort of blew me away a little bit.
I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna mute instead of me muting out. I'm just gonna mute the sound from the video.
Oh, yeah.
It's this last part. This last part, this is what I really want y'all to notice. Ooh. Let me see if I can run it back. Okay.
If she has sunscreen on.
Right. Ooh. I don't know if you noticed, like she had a whole row of teeth, right? Whole row of nicely set teeth, no cracks or nothing. Okay, now if you look right here, can you see that?
That little black spot?
It's like a chip. Yeah, it's like a chip right there. So that's like a fake
It's a
tooth.
fake tooth.
Right. And the sun's conscious eye is actually exposing the truth.
That is not natural.
Right. I'm gonna run that back so y'all can see what they was doing. Okay, hold on. Now check out this whole line. Can y'all see that very well?
Yeah, that's it.
I want to make sure y'all can see it. Okay, so it looked like she transforming a little bit.
I don't spend this much time looking at the Caucasian people.
Yeah, you want to move forward with the bill? I kind of get what you're saying. No, I think he was just running it back for you to see because you kind of missed it. But I get what he's saying. Like, as far as the energy of the sun, and the consciousness of the sun is exposing that which is not natural.
Right. And that's what I wanted to, bring to
which
y'all.
Is a sign, which that is a sign.
Right.
Of consciousness of the sun being conscious.
Right.
You get that, Nella?
Oh yeah, I do.
That's why if you notice throughout the whole video, you notice how it was revealing their true image, right? Everybody had freckles. Everybody of European descent had freckles or spots on their face.
Yeah, I did keep that.
That's pretty much how the sun, and then with them, most of the people that we was looking at, it kind of looked like they was transforming into, you know, something different. So, you know,
that could just be like camera, like, you know, schematics and, you know, you see.
Right. But see, it's giving you the sun's, you know, conscious view. It's showing you how the sun views us, you know, as beings. It exposes its consciousness. It's working in a way where it's exposing our authentic selves. If you catch what I'm saying.
Yeah. Follow you.
That's why I felt like, you know, I should share that video with you guys so, you know, I can give you a good little insight on what I was explaining earlier concerning the sun.
Yeah, I feel you. Got that. That's interesting though.
Right.
That's interesting.
And that, you know, that goes back to the frequencies and energies, however you want to describe them. That goes back to all of that. The sun is actually revealing all of these energies.
So let me show you. I want to show you something. You see this? I had showed you before. Right. This is black tourmaline, and there's a lot I can say about it. But you know, I just want this to be relevant to what we're talking about right now. So this stone, like, you know, I can sit it. I sit this stone. Mic up high in the All right, so this stone, if I was to sit this stone in like the sun and just let it sit for a while and charge, it would soak up information from the sun.
Right.
Then from, you know, once it's reached this peak of soaking up information from the sun, I would then like hold it in my hand and have it in my possession, and I can receive all of that information from the sun. This is a crystal. It's also, you know, silicon and made from some of the minerals that is made up of this. You know, it's actually, you know, stardust or everything. You know, everything, every manifestation is a part of the sun. So, like what you said, the sun receiving information or you know, just receiving the information from the sun. You understand? Via like looking at it through like UV rays, you have a point. But I'm here in this video saying that, you know, when this soaks up energy from the sun, I'm able to, you know, then have it in my possession and receive that energy download.
So let me ask you this. Would you say that crystal is like a mediator for the sun?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
It's getting that information
translated, like a translator.
Right. Y'all know
Oh.
I said,
I'm listening. I'm letting it all marinate in my mind.
So what would any questions? I like questions. I really do. So any questions like with that, what I just said? Yes, the translator. Here's my interpreter here.
Right.
Go ahead, Jamal.
I'll let you go ahead.
I'm not too sure, you guys.
That's cool. Yes, I receive information from here. It kind of helps me tap into that higher source.
And would you say this about that crystal, that it is dark matter?
I would agree that it's matter.
Okay.
Dark matter.
Okay.
Dark matter is, to me, I don't know none of this shit for real. You feel me? Dark matter from what none of that shit is, but you know, I would like to think that is that which is around matter.
Right.
Is around matter.
I'm gonna explain to you why I said dark matter. This is why I said that, because it's receiving frequency from the sun, and it's also of a darker color, right?
Yeah.
So,
but but actually the family of this, it comes in a few different colors. You might can get it in green.
right.
Would you still consider it, say it was green in my hand? Like, you know, would you say that is dark matter? Or what if I told you the same thing for this?
Right.
But it works a little bit different. This one works with the moon.
Right.
This amethyst, and this is amethyst as well. It works with the moon. This gives you vivid dreams.
Right.
So, you know, this is working with the soul, is working with the spirit, is working with the consciousness on like the after you leave the body aspect, you know? Crystals and energy and, you know, consciousness of the crystals and what they do. Like you said, seeds have consciousness because you put the seed in the ground and it knows exactly what to grow into. It knows exactly how to survive. So same for these crystals, the same for, you know, the animals, the trees. Trees have consciousness. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Because trees, they you know, have solar energy. Would you say the solar energy is the consciousness? Would you say that?
That right there is a good question. The reason why I say that is because
you say you need consciousness to experience life, or because you know the sun kind of governs time, so to say, somewhat, right? Is there time outside of the sun?
I would say so, because, you know, I'm looking at it like this right here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but everything has an opposite. So I would say, you know, it could be a negative time, so to speak.
A glitch?
Right.
Not now, not later.
Right.
Okay. So I feel as though, like, you know, if I was to, like, you know, close my eyes and concentrate and kind of like, you know, release my awareness into the outmost of the universe.
Right.
You follow my words? I will be able to see and experience things not in the physical. I'll just be able to see things, right? Is that now? Is that what part of time is that? Is that, you know, it has to be real because I'm able to see it. Is that now? What is that, like a different time? Is that negative time? Would you call that negative time and space?
I would look at that as negative time. I would look at that.
What is that though? What is that?
And I'm gonna explain why I say I would look at it like that, because, okay, you know, with the sun, let me get my words right. With the sun being connected with time, or, you know, the keeper of time, so to speak, when you stop it, when you not stop the sun, but, you know, you stop that time frame for like a second or half a second, you're opening another door. You're opening another door to another realm or a portal.
Hold. So hold on. You saying stop time now? Hold on. Like when? How? I you know, kind of. Can you run that part back? You saying when you stop time?
I'm referring to when I said negative time, right?
Yeah.
Because as you know, there are many portals around us, and those portals could very well, or should I say those realms, in a better term, those could very well be when time, you know, stops for a half a second, or when the sun, you know, goes down. I won't say go out, because the sun never goes out, but when the sun is resting, so to speak.
Hold on now. when the sun is resting, it's just really in its own shadow because it's on the other side of the world. Because you know, when it's dark here, it's light time over there on the other side of the world. So the sun is really just resting in its own shadow.
Right.
But that's what gives us the illusion of time. The sun, right? But that's not the time I'm talking about. That's like physical time. I'm talking about like, you know, you just said something about some negative time, and the only way that would make sense is like, you know, what is negative time? Like, what is time? It's the opposite of time. So obviously, right? Time,
right?
Distance. Positive time is distance. These type of things and all that.
Referring to like
it comes with it. It comes with an experience. It comes with like a energy burn. Like, you know, if you drive the car for this amount of distance and run out of gas, you know, positive times comes with energy burn, right?
Right.
We're getting somewhere, right? So negative time, like, you know, I'm saying, I'm just, you know, I'm throwing that on the table. I'm saying, hey, negative time is traveling with the consciousness.
Right.
That's negative time. Like, you know, we could travel from, you know, from here to the other end of the universe just like that in negative time.
Right.
You just got to be confident in that what you're seeing, that's what it is, right? Right. Or that what you're experiencing is true, like something real, you know? I think that's what it's about. It's not about like, you know, physical hands and screws and bolts and stuff like that. I think the best technology is that type of technology, negative time, when you can be here just and somewhere else like that. Can you imagine yourself walking out the door? Walking out your front door?
Right.
That's negative time. That's a negative, just like that. You out the front door already. You already out the front door. You gone. Right. You gone, bro. You feel me? You gone. Right. So in negative time, just like that, that's like, think we got something going here.
Right. And that's the way you said that, you know, that's where I was getting at with that. I wasn't so much, you know, looking at the physical aspect of it, but that's mainly what I was getting at with that.
Oh, because Nella,
I'm here.
You pushing buttons. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm locked in.
All right.
Well, right.
Like, go ahead.
Most of the times when negative time, whenever the conscious is applied, whenever you're leaving from the physical, and you're going into the other realm.
But isn't they all in the same place at the same time anyways? Like,
hold on now. Say that again, repeat that.
I said, isn't they at the same place at the same time anyways? But like all forms of you, he was talking about different realms. So like the dream realm is right now. So how you was saying, oh, if I just sit here, if I'm laying here and I think about me walking outside of the door, that's actually happening in real time. I'm sitting here laying down, but at the same time, I'm still one of my bodies in my, you know, imagination or in my dream world. You know, my body is going out the front door, but that's happening right now.
Hold on. Okay, I agree with you. That's happening right now, but it is not physically happening right now. It's not happening right now on this three-dimensional plane. It's happening.
So consciousness is limited to the three-dimensional plane?
Say that again.
Consciousness is limited to the three-dimensional plane? Is that what you're saying?
You bring from that plane into this plane. You came from that plane into this plane from a womb.
Right.
That's how it works.
And that womb still exists, and you're still connected to that womb even to this day.
Ashe. And you remember, hold on, I think I had to show you guys this again. Hold on. Because remember I showed you this? I forgot to call it a womb.
Bring it back.
I forgot to call it a womb. You feel me? Hold on.
Right.
Let's get this right. Let's see.
All of them.
So I wasn't sure if you could see it. You said you could, right?
The top is a 0.
So this is a womb. Hold on, let me close this out. This is a womb. Like you see, you came. I think I did tell you that. Look, you came like from where we came from, right? Into the womb, into the world, and you descended in the world out of your mother's womb.
Right.
That's how it works. You know, it needs to be birthed in a womb. And this is the consciousness. This is the like, you know, levels of awareness. This is the left hemisphere of the brain, right hemisphere of the brain. This is the willpower, so on and so forth. And just studying these aspects and the actual experience, you know, that mental experience, that type of work, that force of thinking, of thought. Here's thought right here. This is Tahuti, which is thought, which is on the higher levels of, once you can understand the you know, the importance of thought and the functions of thought and how to master thought, and you're ready to ascend to God consciousness. But everything has to be birthed from a womb. And what happens when you do that? It's a process, right?
Right.
So that's negative time.
Negative. Here's negative time up here.
Right.
So the 0, if the 0 is the womb, everything after it is negative time, which brings the, like, when you go from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the final number, just like it's 9 months, and you have the 1 before the 0, not after the 0. So that becomes negative time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I kind of like missed out on that just a little bit. You said the one before, you was giving me some math, and that kind of twisted me a little.
The womb is where we began, right? And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the total number in existence, because there's no other number besides, like, after 9. After 9 is 10, where then you reset. Here's the womb, and then you have a 1 before the womb. So 0, from 0 you have experience, then you go back to the womb plus a negative number. Does that make sense? And then everything
it makes sense. You got a good eye.
How we're always in cycles, just like January through December, we're in cycles. When we have, you know, winter, spring, fall, we're in cycles. So
I'm glad we're doing this video. That's funny. I'm glad you used that word too, cycles.
Right.
All right. So this is remember, we're in the middle of this build now. Me and the brother, we was talking about the netter, which is everywhere. This is the information. You know, the information. This is communication from the actual universe itself.
Right.
From the actual creator itself, the nature, which created the ants that you can study and find knowledge and understanding in just how they live and how they conduct. There's information in that. Those manifestations of the sun could teach you a lot. All manifestations of the sun can nurture you in some type of way, whether it's physically, in some type of way. All right. So when it comes to the netter of cycles, everything is a cycle. Everything is a system. Everything. Remember when I said birth from a womb and manifestation and natural things,
right?
Non-GMO or even GMO. The people with the GMOs, they try to mimic nature, you know.
Right.
But when you put a seed into the ground, you put the seed into the womb. Birth's a plant, right?
Yep, 1, and then
that is nurtured by the sun.
Right.
So same thing, everything is nurtured by the sun. But we're talking about cycles. I don't think I clarified that, the aspect that you on cycles.
It's all good.
Everything is a cycle. So even when when you turn something, a thought, into reality, it's going to require a cycle. It's going to require some time. Right? You agree?
I wouldn't necessarily say you didn't touch bases though, because you know, when you talking about that seed goes through a cycle.
For sure.
True. Okay. everything, you know, there you go, is like, you know, a process. You can't fight the natural process of time.
And that cycle, you know, that's like, that's the balance.
I think reality and time is a spiral.
Right.
Reality and time, that spiral, that the Fibonacci sequence, right? You see that throughout the whole, you know, universe, in every single thing. You know, I think it has a lot to do with sound and time and just like, you know, is a lot of energy, that a lot of, what is this, quantum physics?
Yep.
Really interesting. You know, forever I will continue to study like topics like this, and you know, forever I will continue to embrace like, you know, the culture and spirituality of like the ancestors. I find true liberation in all of the knowledge that I go out there and seek and obtain for myself. And it's just, you know, an honor to be able to be here with you guys. Thank you in advance.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
In it.
What's that? That looks like some subject, man. Go ahead.
This is the Fibonacci code that I got up right here.
Okay, so you see that, and you see that in the you see that out there in the universe, you know.
Hey, and that pattern, you can find that pattern on your fingertips, with your fingers, so to speak.
Here it is.
You can find it on your head as well.
Yeah, that's real true. Yo, ain't this John crazy purple drink? Yeah, crazy.
I like that. I like that right there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, clean.
Haha, here goes a Fibonacci on Trump.
Yo, they always do some funny president memes.
Oh, they did them dirty.
Hey, Jamal, if you was president, they'll do that to you too.
Oh.
But you see that, like, you know, I would love to be able to study sound. Like, I want to know everything about sound. I want to know, like, I'd love to be able to study a lot more stuff. Like, definitely going to get me a telescope to study biology, microbiology. I want a biological telescope that I can look under and you know, see some organisms move around.
Right. And you know,
yeah, I definitely have that on my list.
That's all around us. You can find that on your body.
Yeah.
You know, we like planets, to be exact. We carry organisms.
True. But what's your views on intelligently manifested light? Conscious light. Different from the sun.
Again.
Conscious light, intelligent light.
Hold on, no, I didn't hear what you had said the first time. It kind of froze in the middle.
All right.
When you were saying it.
Intelligently manifested light.
I don't necessarily know what that means.
Right.
It sounds good, but what is that?
Oh, okay.
Intelligent man.
This is light with a mind. This is light with a mind. This is conscious light that moves and dips and dashes and it is alive.
Right.
A body, intelligently manifested light. This is light that could zap into this realm, move around consciously, and tap out of this realm. Phenomena, light phenomena, you know.
And this is a question. This is a question, Garth. So, would you say that we are that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Good question. Good. I like that. Good question. Yes. And let me explain. Okay. I know for a fact that like the true essence, especially like, you know, that which is inside of you, if you do not develop that, it will be small. It's like, you know, we're suns, you know. Right now, the average temperature of the human body is 98.7, 90 is I'm not sure the specs right now, but it's 90 something degrees Fahrenheit, right? And then once the consciousness leaves the body, it's no longer that degrees anymore, correct? So it's that which is warming the body upon death exit the body, which is a sun. You see, right. I firmly believe that that aspect of the spirit manifests as a circular light. Okay, a circular light, and they could tap into this a stronger spirit. The stronger the spirit, the bigger the light. Right. So what you see in the sky as you calling UFOs, like these words they give you, I don't see that. I see spirits up there. I see spirits up in the sky moving around, zapping. I see them. They out there in the skies. They look like stars, but they're not, and they move around intelligently. That's why I asked you, what is that? That's conscious light that could do phenomenal shit. They just zapping. But I never seen one in person, but I seen that. I can tell you, I'm a witness of that. So that's why I asked you guys what you think about that. You know, I feel as though those are the ancestors. I strongly feel like those are the ancestors that ascended. Those are the ascended ones, the ascended masters that come back and check us out. You know, they didn't live.
You just answered the question I was about to ask you.
Those are the ascended masters. Those are the ones that used to have these bodies like this and ascended, and they come back and zoom by. Or some of they even come to into the atmosphere. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's what that is about.
I have another question now. So when that light energy that we call a star, well, I'm gonna say this right here. That what we call a falling star. Would you say that is that energy is us coming down into the physical realm and becoming a physical manifestation?
Okay, a falling star. I would say that it's a star changing form.
Right.
It's already done its duty.
Right.
It already, you know, put in its work, and it's on to of a course to live again. To make that is going to crash somewhere, right?
Right.
Honestly, I'm not that's different because this is that is a physical thing. I'm talking about something a little bit different, bro. Right. Feel me? That physical star is still a physical thing in a 3-dimensional observation.
Right. The reason
correct.
The reason why I know is because, you know, when we was talking about, you know, us being a form of light, it struck a thought in my head, like, okay, so with us being a form of light energy and the stars, quote unquote, us, I was thinking, well, okay, so when these stars fall, or when this energy comes back down, would that be a way of a consciousness? I wouldn't say ascending, I would say descending down to the physical realm, so to speak. That's what the thought was that came to my mind. That's why I had asked you that question.
I'm feeling that thought. It's just there ain't enough fallen stars that, I mean, I think stars is falling all the time, and actually I think that's I like that ideology.
All right, so I hear what you're saying. Are you saying that when stars fall, that means like that is another human that's about to be born?
Right.
All right, so I would say like when a star falls, like, or just stars period and planets period, like these are physical objects that affect us.
Right.
Physically. Right?
Right.
So I can see like maybe a shooting star affecting us physically, but the aspect of light compared to the star, what I'm talking about just a little tad bit different. Same thing, just a little tad bit different. Because you would have to you would have to kind of grow to that level of a star. Right. You get me? You have to kind of grow to that level of star. To me, in my perspective, that level of a star or what that star used to be, that's like the ultimate being.
Isn't that what we're striving to be?
But we're not at that level. You're not about to be there like next week, you feel me? Billions of years, you feel me? That is the ultimate of being. This type of being, when you reach that aspect of being, you get me? When you reach that, we see that. You can be able to see bodies like that. When you get a body like that, you have the power to manifest yourself. You get your own planet. You get to do all these type of things. What the sun is doing, like we are manifestations of that. Everything you see is a manifestation of the sun. So when you get that type of like position, that's like one of the ultimate, like, you see what I'm saying?
Right, divine.
You get a sun body, fuck a God body. I want a sun body. but back to telling you about the light now. You feel me? We had the light body aspect. It's different bodies. Like you see birds, you see, you got dogs, you got cats, you got all different bodies, right? So we're talking about the actual light body. This is more closer metamorphosis than the sun body or XYZ. The light body is what we as humans would call the God body. You can follow me?
Right.
Comprehend? All right. So now the light body is what I'm saying. Like I see, like, what we see in the skies, what you see as the UFOs, back to what I'm saying, these are light bodies. You agree? This is not physical, tangible bodies. These light bodies appear and then they can zip out and bam, bam. Active bodies, right? Doing things and showing you that, hey, look at us, we smart as shit, bam, bam. You see us, we gone, look at that, right? So that is what I'm trying to identify, or I'm telling you that I identify that as, like, those are, well, consciousness.
Right.
Right. Right. Fair to say? That is consciousness coming together and functioning bright and vivid, right? Yeah. Right. So that's my goal. My goal is to, like, be able to reach that level of consciousness. Feel me? You understand? My goal is to be able to reach that level of consciousness and identify.
Right.
Yeah.
That was touching.
Just like that, What you think? What's your views?
Oh man, that's deep. Like, that's really something to just think about. Digest.
I think completely opposite to you. I think completely opposite. I think that because I call by Nella Loves Cosmos for anybody viewing afterwards that would love to connect. Nella Loves Cosmos. And I believe that the cosmos is a correlation to our ancestors. There's layered levels to this shit, and the sun, that's just a ancestor. We could be a sun. There's so much to this galaxy. There's only, like, we know the sun to the earth. There's so many other suns out there. There's so many other earths. There's so many different planets. And I believe that our duty talking about, you know, soul, exploring the soul's consciousness. Once you become conscious, you become, you know, the next level is super consciousness. Then once you become super consciousness, you become a super, you know, nova, or, you know, whatever the heck these words is. But I believe that we are stars, and that's why down here on earth, the most popular people, the people that have the most artificial light being shined on them, aka celebrities, they're called stars, superstars, but they're the most, you know, disconnected from the cosmos. As far as soul beings, they're very disconnected from the cosmos, but in the artificial world, in the artificial light, they are shining very brightly. So to me, you know, I may not be super popular and well known out here, but as far as internally, my soul being, it is shining very bright. And when I, you know, ascend in the darkness of the cosmos, I will become that light. And depending on how, you know, bright my light is shining, I might be a star, or I might be my own damn sun. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how bright I could shine in my own, you know, light. So I believe completely differently. The sun works for me because my ancestors work for me. The moon works for me because my ancestors is looking out for me. You know, that's why I have stars tatted all over me.
Right.
It's the only thing that I actually truly believe. You know, is that they're the only thing, like how you know, when we think about God, we look up in the sky and like think of some being up in the sky, something that's impossible. We're looking for something that looks like us, and it's like, no, what we see above, that is the source. Those are the same energy as us that has evolved themselves into a reflection that we have the potential to be, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't believe that, you know, yeah, what you were saying. I can't. I think that's thinking too small. I think that's too grounded to this earth. Like, I think it's limiting yourself, you know, and you are what you think, and you could only become as far as you can think. So it's like if you say that, you know, something that's greater than you has a potential that's more powerful than you, then that's absolutely crazy, because we are more powerful than the sun, because in order for the sun to shine, we have to actually acknowledge it. Like, people say, oh, you know, even if you don't come out, the sun won't shine. But it's like, literally, if I never, like, on a sunny day, if I don't leave my house, the sun is not shining, not in my reality. So really, the sun needs me as well as I need it, and I only need it to know that I can become it as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the way you put that, though. I like the way you put that. That's very interesting. That's a very interesting way of thinking.
I'm kind of okay. Last thing I remember, Queen or the goddess, my bad, goddess. She was saying that she does agree that we are stars.
Right.
And I'm not sure if you was agreeing with the light body aspect. Like you can't, like, you know, star body a little bit different than light body. And I remember you were saying, looking you know, in the towards the heavens, you're looking for, like, you know, a physical human, but that's not what it's about. It's really that what you see out there, literally.
Yeah, and light to me isn't necessarily what we can see, because when you go inside and you seek for your inner light, it may be dark, but there's still light in there. You know, like, light isn't what makes you see. Light can be heat, you know, energy, like how you were saying, oh, you know, when you die, the heat that makes your body warm, it's gone. That's a light, you know. Fire, it's light. So I think we're too, like in a pyramid. We are, let me get my pyramid actually so I could, I think that we are too spaced out in our minds and in our thoughts. I think this is not gonna show.
I'll be right back now.
Like, I feel like we're too below here and not above here. When you go further up your pyramid, things start to connect, and we're not connecting things. We're leaving things way too separate. So for us to be thinking that like we divide things way too much when we're thinking that light is something different from fire, energy, you know, like that's why studying the elements is very important, so that we understand the fundamental, the root, like everything started from one unit and then it's separated, just like a tree. It starts from one seed and then it grows and it branches out and it has different branches with different leaves and all this stuff. And it's like we're hanging out on the leaves, we're hanging out on the branches, and we're not digging into the root of things to understand that things are actually more connected than we think, and we allow our minds to divide it. And that's the power of the enemy, divide and conquer. That's why, you know, we have so many things that we're divided over and fighting over, whether it's religion, whether it's, you know, colorism, whether it's sexuality. We're allowing the division to continue to make us think that things are different. So I say all that to say that light to me is sound. How you was just saying that you want to hear about sound. Like, I have a drum right here. Hold on, let me hit this real quick. When I hit that, that is light. That's a spark. In order for there to be sound, there has to be friction in order between two things in order for the sound to even be heard. So I feel like any two things coming together, whether it's an idea, whether it's, you know, anything, whether it's your hands that's coming together to make a clap sound, that is light. That is a spark. That is friction. That is creation, because you're creating something new. So it's 1 + 1 = 2, or 3, whatever. So any two things put together, it forms light.
I like that.
I have two magnets right here. If I try to hit the opposite ends together, I don't know if I could really do that right here because they're not too powerful. But if I take these apart and I hit them, they're gonna make a spark. So that's light. And everything is magnetism, whether it's, you know, the positive side, the negative side. Once you hit it together and it starts making friction, that's light. Sorry.
It's cool.
I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. Take it away.
That was it. Kind of aroused a question. What does that say? Like, this is a question to both of you guys. Like, I feel that sound is light. What does that say to you? Like, sound is light. Like, what can you do with that? Like, you know, could that sound light up a room? How do you use sound to light up a room? How do you use sound? You get me now? That's what I'm getting at. Like, how do you use sound to power up my laptop?
About, bats, how bats don't have normal vision, but they use sound to see. So that's what that makes me think about.
Right.
So the vibration, because yeah, you might be in a dark movie theater or something like that, and a sound in the background might, you know, be it's your senses, I guess, because in a movie theater, you're trying to concentrate and something like is buzzing right here, and it limits makes you lose clear focus of what you're paying attention to, and it draws your attention somewhere else, so you start seeing somewhere else.
So are you saying like, no, that's not what you're saying. I was gonna say what, night vision goggles, so you can see like a bat. How do you sound? How do you sound to light up a room, like, you know? Or as energy, how do you harness that energy? Because it is energy.
I mean, sometimes like sometimes you have someone that, like, let's say we're at a family, you know, a night out of karaoke with some friends, and like there's this fat coworker that we have that we like sort of make fun of. We like pick jokes, and she's like so jolly, and she doesn't you know, care about us picking jokes, but we do, you know, use her as the butt of our jokes. And then she gets up on stage and to do the karaoke, and she just starts singing, you know, this crazy, you know, sound that we didn't expect from her. So she brought a different light into the room, because now we see her as a completely different, we hold her to a complete different respect. Now we like give her hella fucking props. We don't use her as the butt of our jokes, you know, like, so that could be a way.
You know what? That was kind of similar to what I was gonna say too, as well. You know, when you were saying how do you bring light to a room, like I was just thinking like this from another perspective. Like, okay, when you say that right there, I imagine like a room full of people, right? And you being a speaker, your words can bring light to that whole room. Because, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because this goes back to what Nella was saying about heat, right? So just imagine you being able to see this heat energy. That's a form of light. Amongst these people, their temperatures change. Their temperatures change. Some people may go higher, some people may go lower, but you see different forms of light. You see different forms of that energy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep going.
What was that?
I said that's where I was looking at it from.
I like that.
Right.
What about this? Right? Africans, when they beating that drum and they stomping and they stomping and they beating the drum. Boom, ba-da-doom, boom, 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 right? Making all that noise and stomping and shit, right? It's that light, like what is that light?
I would consider that light, because like she said, it has friction. There's a lot of friction, consistent.
So would you be able to see that with like a UV sunglasses far away from somewhere, or you get where I'm going? Like, you know, what does that, what do they, because we see them do that, right?
Right.
What does that do?
I mean,
on a non-physical level.
You know how you were saying earlier that you want to get a microscope to see certain things? There's certain things that our eyes just don't allow us to see, but at a certain frequency, we would be able to see them, because, for instance, when you get sound that has a lot of bass on it, you can actually see the vibrations. You put something on the table that you put some woofers near it, you could literally see what you put on the table vibrating. So it would have to be at what, like, different levels of frequency.
And then too, I would say this, Garth, back to what you were saying about would you be able to see it? Okay, so you got to think too about this. Aura is a form of light, right? So with them stomping these drums and causing this friction, they're giving off auras. They're giving off different colorations of aura. You see what I'm saying? And you know that's forming light. It's light all around that area, including the people. It's energy.
So vibration, definitely vibration is present there at a ceremony as such, right? Vibration is there. Aura, heat signature.
Right.
Vibrational heat signature.
And like I was telling you, like, I mean, music makes you want to dance. That's one thing. But like I was telling you, when you do certain, to get into a certain mood, and I use the example of church, when to set the stage, you introduce vibrations, sounds, and tones and stuff like that. And that is like shedding light. That's like when you do in a theater or a Broadway show or something, you put lights, to shine it onto your main event. So like the singing, it's wrapped around it. You sing before and you sing after, and like depending on like vibration takes form as well, because I could say fuck or bitch in a few different ways, and they will take different form. You'll understand it in a different, you'll have a different conscious awareness of what the message I'm trying to bring across. So tone has a lot to do with it.
Like if I was to say beach,
I would not take you serious at all. I would just
that's different from bitch.
Yeah, then I'd be like, what?
I'll say this, the way you said that, Garth, that is a longer frequency. That's a long.
Yeah.
So maybe short frequencies are more direct and abrupt and like,
rub you wrong and touch you wrong.
Yes, and something longer.
Some of those, right? A couple of those, huh? Sound.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Sound like what it is, though.
Insight. That's some real good insight. Oh, there's Garth.
I'm back. Had to get right one time. Man, so wow. Touched a lot of topics. A lot of great, interesting topics. And man, the light body, that what y'all was lost in the light body, huh?
Well, I kind of, but I kind of, well, I ain't gonna say kind of. I got a understanding of what you were saying after you broke it down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now I get the full effect of it.
Mella, I see you over there smiling.
I'm always smiling. Sorry, yeah. I'm just thinking about everything. All the thoughts through the conversation is just floating around in my head. I'm seeing the God bodies. I'm seeing myself as a God body entering. I'm seeing myself in my little human flesh as a God body, but I'm like going into a sun, and then I like became the sun, and I'm just like the sun became like my head, and then I like popped out my whole like solar big ass body, and I've become also the phoenix. Yo, I light up like a bird, and then I'm phoenix and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I see all that. This was a good conversation.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what it's about. So I think that's the end of this right now. It was a perfect build, exploring the conscious soul. And I feel as though we definitely explored the conscious soul on all different levels, different aspects. We might can do a part 2. You guys remember to like, subscribe, and share this if you find any form of enlightenment, liberation, whatever the case may be. Nella and Jamal, I fucks with this. We should do this again. I'm looking forward. Hotep. Peace out.
I don't know about all that Hotep stuff, but you know,
Hotep,
this is
it's Hotep all day, man.
You know, just
that's the language that we know as the netter right now, until we can make up our own language.
I'm from Miami Dade.
All day.
Sure, I just speak, you know, that.
only when studying the netter, right? You can get knowledge like what we talking about, because we was just studying the netter. That's the real middle netter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what it is. We got another build tomorrow. It's an open provision. What is it called? Proversation? An open proversation tomorrow. It's just open. We're gonna do it again. Stay tuned. I'm out of here.
All right.